Okay, so I'm going to be talking about inverse trig functions, specifically their derivatives and integrals. So for sines, arc sines, inverse sines, derivative, it's as follows. d dx of arc sine of u, or sine negative to the -1 power, is u prime all over the square root of 1 minus u squared. And its integral is as du all over the square root of a squared minus u squared is arc sine u over a plus c. Now, is greater than 0 factor negative. And cosines is exactly the same thing, except it's negative. Okay, so let me just write right here. So cosine equals same as above, but negative. Okay, so now let's do tangent. So d dx of arc tan, which is tangent of -1, of u is u prime all over 1 plus u squared. And its integral is integral sign, du all over a squared plus u squared is equivalent to 1 Let me try it here. 1 over a arc tan of u over a plus c. Don't forget the plus c. So now note that cotangent is the same as a tangent, like the same process, except it's negative. So let me just write here. Cotangent is equal to same as, the above, but negative. Now, let me talk about secant. Let me erase this to make some room. So du of arc secant of u. So that's secant. It's never been. Dx is u prime. I meant dx. My bad. This looks kind of messy. Absolute value of u. And the square root of u squared minus 1. And its integral is, as for the integral sign, du all over u square root of u squared minus a squared is 1 over a arc secant of the absolute value of u over a plus c. I know it's hard to see. And note that cosecant is exactly the same process as above, except it's negative. So yeah, that was just a note. For like the first. So those are the rules, formulas. So let me erase this. So now let's do an example. So if you're given y is equal to 7 sine -1 of 10x, and you want to find the inverse of it by using derivative. So if you want to find its derivative, you first have to identify what u is. And in this case, u is 10x. The argument of this trig function. And u prime is its derivative, so like 10. And so now you just implement the formula, which was u prime over the square root of 1 minus u squared. So in this case, it would be 10 over the square root of 1 minus 10x squared. And then don't forget to multiply by 7. So then that would become 70 over the square root of 1 minus 100x squared. Make sure to simplify. So, yeah. Now, to do an example of an integral type question, let's just say you're given of 1 over the square root of 16 minus x squared dx. So then you have to identify your variables. So in this case, a would be 4, u would be x, and du would be dx, means 1. So then, because the formula is 1 over the square root of a squared minus u squared, so then a would just be, its square root, and then u would just be right here, the x, and then du would just be the dx here. So then that would become sine -1 of x all over 4 plus c, because that would be sine -1 of u over a, plus c. So that would be your answer. And now just make sure to go over other questions and regarding with the test.